Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Beyond Crystals. My name is Meg Moonbeam, and I'm here with my soul sister, Sunny from Pluto. How's it going,
Hello.
Sunny?
Good. How are you?
Good. Today, we're going to be talking about quartz crystals, going in depth to what quartz crystals are all about, different formations of quartz crystals as well. Before we get into it, you guys can find us at thescorplingshop.com, where we've recently released our Jupiter and Cancer Lucky Charms collection, available exclusively there. And also, Ascension Organites has these new Beyond Mystic and Sending Raven special edition t-shirts available. You can use code Beyond Mystic to get 10% off and get these cool new logoed t-shirts. So, Sunny, how are you? How is life? Oh my God, where did you go? Why is it just me? There you are. How's it going?
Good, I guess. It's funny, me and you have both been experiencing some headaches the past few days.
Yeah.
But other than that, good. I've been getting out all the lucky charms. All the lucky charms are making their way to your houses, to your
Yay.
hands, to your hearts.
Yeah. And we're sold out of the Lemurians, right?
Yes, I am working on acquiring some more. So I'm doing my best with that.
Yeah, but we've still got lots of the blue topaz, lots of the Larimar. How much of the ruby feldspar is left?
Less than half of what
Less.
we had. So
Got
there's
it.
not too many left. There's still a bit of blue topaz and a bit of Larimar, but also with the pink Lemurian, we might have the opportunity to get some bigger pieces. So we'll talk about me and you will
Ooh.
talk about that privately at another time, but we'll see.
Okay, cool. Exciting stuff.
Which is really, really rare though. So it's not common to find pink Lemurians in general, but then to find big, pristine, the guy who I was talking to who found them
Mm-hmm.
said that he's had some really like larger, I don't know how big because he hasn't shown me yet, but larger pieces of like very pristine pink Lemurians in his stash. So I'm like, okay, I'm open to seeing that.
Yeah, that is awesome. Very, very exciting.
Yeah.
And yeah, I resonate with what you're saying. I have been having like headaches lately. I'm not usually a headache kind of person. Been feeling some sensitivities that I haven't felt in a while. So definitely a lot of energies going on and very important for us to be doing self-care during these times. One of the ways, of course, we can do self-care and energetic cleansing is working with the Christies, of course. And today we're going to talk all about quartz. So where should we get started, Sunny? Do you want to start with kind of our personal experiences with quartz first before we get into it? What quartz means like personally to each of us, or what do you
Uh,
think?
I don't even know. If you wanna go with that, go ahead. You can talk about your personal experience with quartz. It's a loaded question and kind
Mhm.
of never ending. So if you have any personal experiences with quartz that you want to share, go ahead.
Well, nothing like specifically, but just overall, I find quartz to be an absolute beautiful, powerful ally. I always like to have quartz around me in the home, in the office, in my purse, some sort of quartz. I just find it very, very comforting. And my two favorite kinds of quartz are Lemurian quartz and smoky quartz. I really like the energy of both of those. Lemurian quartz we'll be talking about definitely in today's show, connects us to our ancient civilizations, higher self, intuition. I find those to be great comfort. And there's a lot to say about quartz. So I feel like it's a very great topic for us to be getting into.
It's loaded,
Yeah.
and I wrote my notes and I tried to keep them short. And we're gonna go through some of the basics and show some basic or popular examples and of different. So we're gonna talk about what quartz is.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about how it works. We're going to show you different examples of quartz. Some of you guys may not even realize that there are a lot of different crystals are actually quartz crystals. And then we're gonna skim over some of the popular quartz formations because not only is there different types of quartz, but then there's different types of formations and growth habits, which is like
Mhm.
a whole other dimension. We're not going to go too deep into it, but we are going to talk about and go over a few of the popular ones.
Sounds
So,
good.
yeah. Do you want to say anything before I start?
Oh, yes. Speed ahead.
Okay. So, quartz is silica or silicon, and silica is a solid form of silicon dioxide. And it is the most abundant mineral on the earth, and it is found mostly as quartz or
Mhm.
glass. But yeah, glass is silica as well. Um, Silicon dioxide is also in our bodies. So, silica or silicon dioxide is found in our bones, teeth, skin, eyes, glands, organs, and spinal fluid, which flows around and in our brains. So, we need silica for our bones and our teeth and our nails and all that to grow and to form.
Mhm.
And some people, I've talked to my friend Tamara about this, who's also a Scorpio, quite a bit, and she likes to like say that spinal fluid is like a type of liquid quartz, which is really cool. So it makes making it one of the most compelling reasons that our thought waves. This is what I think. So like the fact that there's actual quartz or silicon in our brain and in our
Mhm.
body, uh I find that it could be one of the most like a compelling reason that our thought waves can be projected throughout the collective, throughout the universe, and can be connected with by other conscious beings or by other people or things, and it can be picked up on or tapped into. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And quartz is a semiconductor, so it regulates the flow of electrical currents, much like how our bodies and minds perceive, process, and manage energy and emotions. And just as quartz can store and transmit energy, our cells hold memory, whether it's the imprint of a comforting or a traumatic touch, or the ability of recalling past lives and people, or to the ability of just retaining like basic information. So, this is I imagine the reason why the majority of electronic devices have quartz-based chips is they're
Mhm.
optimal for computing components and storage.
Right.
Also, quartz, yeah, because they're a semiconductor and they like vibrate at a very high frequency on the hertz scale, so it can process information very quickly, quicker than we can.
Mhm.
And so I always wonder, I'm like, is this because we have silicon in us, and one of the most abundant minerals on the planet is silicon? Um, is this part of the reason why we live in cycles, or why the earth has cycles and like memory? So like the seasons. So every year at the same time, we know that, and it's also based on the planets too. But it's just like, I mean, this is where I get like mind jumbled because there's so many reasons why, I guess, because it's not just what the earth is made out of or what we're made out of. It's like what's the word? Is it microcosm, macrocosm? I don't
Microcosm, yeah.
Yeah, microcosm, like everything is connected. It's just like how um like the funguses in the forest, like they're all connected with each other and they're communicating
Mhm.
with each other to create like an ecosystem.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is like a loaded topic, and honestly, like this is probably why my head hurts because there's a lot of questions, there's a lot of things that I don't fully understand because I'm not like super scientific. I don't understand like the scientific lingo. I don't understand like the foundations of life, like the scientific facts, like all the way down to like what an atom is or what's even less than an atom. I don't get it. It becomes really complicated for me. So I just like to simplify things, and I'm more of like a metaphysical thinker. We're artists. We're more like just vibing. We're understanding the vibes. So
Yeah.
it gets like on a energetic level, metaphysical level, esoteric level, I understand how all of this works. But when I start to read about, yeah, like what I was saying, like the foundations of it all, it gets to be like really complicated, and but it's also mind blowing in a way because I'm not surprised that
Mhm.
crystals have these like physical abilities or physical attributes. It's like shocking to see it from like a different perspective, kind of,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Yeah. So also I was also wondering, um, if DNA and silica had like anything in common. And like I
Mm.
said, I'm not a scientist. So I actually asked Chat GPT about that. And so yeah, there's no silica like in our DNA, but scientists actually use silica to purify DNA while working with it in labs, which is really interesting.
Isn't there, sorry to interrupt you, Sunny, but isn't there silica running all throughout our body, or is it only in certain parts?
Yeah, so it's in our bones, teeth, skin, eyes, glands, organs, spinal fluid. So basically, yeah,
Right.
because there's water in our body too. So like the silica probably like is
Yeah.
in there as
Yeah.
well. So
Right.
it's a lot. And that's why crystals are like really good to have around us too, especially like the quartz crystals, because they're solid. So like, yeah, we have silica in our body and stuff like that, but we're also made out of so many other minerals and water, and we have different like thought waves, brain waves. So our
Mhm.
frequency is like changing, and we're changing all the time, but the crystals stay like solid. You know what I mean? They have like they don't change their how they're emitting their frequency. Like they're just doing
Mhm.
it all the time. So it helps us, and I get it definitely connects to like the silica in our body, which is why it raises our frequency to get back to like that higher state. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Cough, burp, I don't know what's going on. But anyways, yeah, so basically Chat GPT said DNA purification often uses silica columns or beads. Silica has a natural affinity for binding DNA in the presence of certain salts. This is a common technique in labs to isolate or clean DNA. So literally it's saying that it silica is used to clean DNA.
Wow.
So it gives us more of a view into what having quartz around us can do to our DNA, or how we can heal ourselves or awaken the dormant DNA strands, if you believe in like the 12 or 13 DNA strand theory.
Right.
Yeah, like what having quartz can actually do for you
Yeah.
spiritually and physically.
That's so
Uh, and it gives you too, like when we talk about all of this, how it can store memory and information, it like lets you know a little inkling of like the metaphysical properties of what quartz is and what
Mhm.
quartz can inspire within us. Anything that you want to say about that?
Yeah, I think, it's such a good point because like you and I, we're both very creative, we're both very intuitive, like artists, spiritual artists. And I start to tune out after a while when things get really technical. I'm just not a technical person. I'm not a
Mm.
super techie scientific person. Like you said, we feel the vibes. But when we do go to that spiritual science, which science really is spiritual science, not fake
Exactly.
scientism, that's an inversion, right? When you really look at the science of these crystals, they're literally, as you're saying, Sunny, in the case of quartz, with the silica so prominent in it, connected to us on such a deep level, right? And we know quartz is programmable. We know it's an amplifier as well. We know it's in, isn't it in like all technology too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uses quartz.
That's okay. You said the magic word programmable. So
Okay.
like this is where I get like kind of freaked out because I'm like, okay, so this can be very enlightening. This can be a very enlightening information, but it can also be like take us down like some dark roads because quartz is so programmable. We have silica in us. Is that why we're so easily programmed?
Right.
Like that we can
Yep.
go in and out of different programs?
Yep.
And some people are just like not self-aware, but and then there's also like the theory of like some people might not even be fully sold too. Like
Right.
this is just tripping me
There's
out.
yeah, there's some things like I think anything can be programmed and put an intention on it, but things like silica, water, which we're made out of both of those
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's a very good point
Mhm.
for
And
sure.
also, yeah, like
And also,
Yeah, the
Correct me
frequencies.
if I'm yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't the pineal gland have a lot of silica, or there's something about the pineal gland? There's literally crystals in our pineal gland.
Yeah, there's oh, I forget what the word for the crystals in the pineal gland are.
Calcite?
Uh no.
Let me
I can't
see
think of it. I
here.
can't think of it right now. But yeah,
Let
we
me
have like piezoelectric um properties like in the pineal gland too.
The pineal gland, a small endocrine gland in the brain, contains small non-pathological crystals composed of calcite.
Oh, calcite.
Yeah, these crystals distinct from, then this is AI overview from Google, so this
Okay.
might not even be real, but
Well, calcite is calcium.
right.
So yeah, like if your pineal gland is super calcified, why would that? Like, I always wonder, is that bad to calcify your pineal gland? Because calcite's a good crystal.
Well, there's already calcite in there,
Yeah,
right? So it's the over calcification
yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah,
problem,
yeah.
right? So, and that's something, it's funny because I was feeling that earlier. I'm like, what is the connection with our pineal gland? I was feeling that intuitively, and then I looked it up and I was like, oh yeah, well, I know what the pineal gland is, but I forgot if there was crystals in there, and yeah, there is, literally. And
That's
this is
crazy.
something all in ancient societies our ancestors harped on, right? That eye of Horus, that sacred eye, the evil eye, like you're wearing, the eye,
Mhm.
right? This is a very important part of our body that literally has crystals in it,
Yep.
right?
Carbon
So
dioxide
working
is a
with,
carbonate mineral. Sorry.
sorry, what were you going to say?
I'm wanting to read the formula for calcite. It's a carbonate mineral. It's
Oh,
literally all it says.
interesting. And
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know what the pineal gland is, it's a part of our brain, a very sacred part where it's said that our intuition, like our spiritual powers, basically come from.
That's
It's a very
interesting.
sacred part.
Sorry, I keep on interrupting you. I'm like thinking out loud.
That's okay.
It's interesting too because calcite is like a crystal that I suggest a lot for memory and for like brain function and for like going into the depths of like different parts of your brain where we like store things that we can like forget and stuff. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize that it was calcite crystals, but that makes sense because we're saying don't calcify the pineal gland.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to overcalcify it. The pineal gland is the brain's antenna. It can send or receive signals through time, space, and dimensions.
And there's spinal fluid with silica flowing all around that too.
Wow.
So that's interesting.
Very interesting. Fluoride is deposited. Yeah, so the fluoride conglomerates in our pineal gland, and that's what's fucking a lot of people up.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they put fluoride in the water. It's to shut down the pineal gland, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, Murdoch, fluoride calcifies the pineal gland. So yeah, working with quartz, literally, it's connected to us. We are quartz. Quartz is us.
mm-hmm. And yeah, again, going back to like the programming thing, it's like, yeah, having like actual, I have my quartzes here. Quartz crystals around you can help, yeah, keep your energy high and maybe protect you from the programs that they're imprinting into you. Because also, like, this quartz isn't programmed to whatever is coming through. I mean, if I held it up to somebody, like if somebody programmed it to do that, maybe, but still I think that because it's from the earth and it's pristine and it's in my hands right now, it's attached to like what my intentions are and what I'm working um with it for, or what it's telling me to do. Really, that's another thing too, is like crystals, like all they each have their own and like specific energy. Like although they all share like properties and they're all made of the
Yeah.
same thing, each crystal has its own like deity basically. So I
Mm,
mean, I guess if, again, this is like all very like conspiratorial, I guess if somebody who is evil or had evil intentions had a quartz crystal, maybe that quartz crystal is in their hands specifically because it has a darker program or something. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not evil, so I don't really know. But I feel like crystals are vibrating like they're so high. Like I don't know if that would work for them, but we'll see. Maybe they do.
That's interesting that you're bringing that up, Sunny, because there have been times where I've looked at somebody's crystal or I've touched somebody's crystal and I felt really weird from it. Not necessarily because the crystal is bad, but the crystal is connected to someone that may be doing something negative or nefarious, or they have a really lower energy. So it could be working with them in that way, but it's not necessarily the crystal that's dark. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like this crystal specifically, I call it my priestess crystal. I feel like I've had it in a past life or something. Because every time I use it, it's like, it's always when I'm near water or somebody needs some healing or people are sharing like higher knowledge, like metaphysical knowledge or esoteric knowledge. It's like a priestess crystal, a priest or priestess crystal. So it's very interesting. And it's like, okay, well, that's what I'm connected to. So that makes sense. Is it both of us working together? Could be. Or is it the crystal guiding me? I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably both, a little bit of both, especially if it's something that I've had in the past. It gets like really complicated. There's like a lot of different when I mean, that's why I'm always like, I understand the feelings and I don't have to over explain that to myself. But when we're talking with you guys, it's cool to put all of this information like into, I don't know, factual kind of information, factual ways to, or I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, but just, you know what I'm saying? Facts, putting into facts. You guys can see how or why these things, these phenomena like happen. Why am I feeling this way metaphysically or energetically? There's always a physical explanation. I feel like, or I think so. Yeah. There's always a physical explanation because we're on Earth. When it comes to at least things that are physical. So yes, crystals are physical. But there are also aspects of it that are non-physical, like us.
Yeah.
So I understand on like a vibratory level, the non-physical, but when you have to explain it, it gets really complicated because there's just like so many layers.
Right.
It's just like, it's never ending. Like I said, like I was writing all these things that we're probably not even going to talk about because when I'm thinking about how I wanted to present quartz and stuff today, I just had so many questions. It just like took me down all these different rabbit holes.
Yeah. Murdoch says, can the crystals be programmed?
Yes, I think for it's kind of like, so again, layers. I feel like the way we have a program or a soul contract before we got here, I feel like crystals can also have that. They can be pre-programmed for you, or by the earth or by God for you. And that's why they come into your life. So they already have like a mission, which I guess when you program it with your intention, it's actually you channeling like what that quartz is already here to do for you. If that makes sense. So yes, they can be programmed and they already have a running program too, where you can learn from them, but you're only learning from them what is relevant to you or for you in your life and your soul's journey for whatever you're using them for. If I know it sounds vague, but does that make sense? Or do I need to specify more what I mean?
No, that makes total sense.
Okay.
For sure. Cool. Yeah, what do you want to go to next, Sunny? Should we bring up some of these slides that you've made?
Yeah, so we can just show like what some of the common quartz crystals are. So we have clear quartz, of course, which is silica. And then the other types of quartzes, I'm just going to take a sip of water. Hold on.
Yeah.
So clear quartz is just colorless quartz. So it's silicon.
Yeah.
The other quartzes are also silicon, but then there's trace minerals that create the different colors. So most of the time it's like iron or hematite and different like metals and stuff like that. So yeah,
Mhm.
amethyst is a quartz. And also it depends too, like how, so like for example, like citrine also has iron and amethyst has iron. So why is citrine yellow and amethyst is purple? It also depends on how hot it gets in the earth.
Right.
So like the level of radiation. So a lot of the times too, we'll see amethyst heated and it will be orange, and then they call it citrine because back in the day when crystal healing became popular, like I don't know if it was like in the 80s or 90s, citrine, there wasn't a lot of natural citrine mines, and the natural citrine, because it's so rare, was very expensive. And citrine is still expensive, but it's not as like hard to get as it used to be, so it's not as expensive.
Right.
And so they started heating amethyst to make it orange so people could have access to citrine, but it's not actual citrine. So um, I wish they would stop calling it that. I think a lot of
Yeah.
people know about that now. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with heating the amethyst and making it a different color. But it's not citrine. So let's just not call it that. That's all.
Yeah.
That's my beef with it.
I think there's a lot of people that know that, but there's a lot of people that still don't know that, and they think
Yeah.
it's real citrine.
Which is so funny too, because when I was a teenager, like I refused, like when I found out, I was like so pissed off. I was like, what? And I really, really liked the energy of the heated amethyst. Like I really resonated with it, which is totally
Mhm.
fine. And I found like the actual citrine to be like too intense. Like I wasn't ready for that. It was like, it was just so different. It was different. And I found it to be like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it was heavy, but it was just like sharp. I don't know. I just wasn't into it. And then now it's like the complete opposite. Like I would not going to buy heated amethyst.
Mm, right.
um, yeah. Anything you want to say about any of these crystals?
Yeah, I think it's just so cool that there's so many crystals that are quartz. There's so
Mm-hmm.
many variations, there's so many colors, there's so many formations. It's something you could be into your whole life and learn something new every single day. So it's interesting too, like what Mother Earth provides for us.
Mm-hmm.
So when there's a really big abundance of something, and you've mentioned this before on the show, it's something that is in alignment for us to be working with,
Mm-hmm.
right?
It's
And
like
there's also,
dandelions.
yeah,
It's like everybody wants to get rid of their dandelions, but I'm like, the medicine is around you for a reason. And dandelions purify your blood. And we all have issues with our blood where there's all these diseases going around and all this poison and like all our food and stuff and in the air. We should be like drinking the dandelion roots or eating dandelion leaves.
right.
It's like one of the strongest herbal medicines there is, and everybody hates it.
Yep,
Or we're programmed to hate it.
right.
They're not even ugly. I don't get it. But anyways,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we've got some more variations up on the screen. Do you want to talk about some of those, Sunny?
Yeah, so smoky quartz is a type of quartz again. It can be uh like a blacky gray color to even like a browny color or even light brown too. Sometimes citrine and smoky quartz kind of like cross over, which is yeah. And even
Mhm.
amethyst and smoky quartz sometimes they can cross over too. There can be smoky amethyst, there could be smoky citrine. So yeah, the lines kind of get blurred here and there. So aventurine is a type of quartz. And then I just have rutilated quartz, which is actually like it's just quartz with an inclusion in it. So an inclusion would be like a growth formation. So
Mhm.
rutilated quartz, rutile is a mineral on its own and it's within the quartz. And then chalcedony, agate, and jasper, those are all quartzes.
Right.
So these are some of the popular types of quartzes that we see that you might not know are quartz.
Mm.
I mean, smoky quartz obviously is quartz.
Yeah, for sure.
It's in the
And
name.
I think a lot of people don't know that adventuring is quartz too.
Aventurine, yeah, and even tiger's eye is quartz. Tiger's eye is a pseudomorph, so it was one mineral and then it was replaced by quartz.
Right.
So it's very interesting.
Yeah. And anything you want to share about quartz in general, or should we get into some of the formations?
Um, yeah, we can get into the formations. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay, so like I said, this can get really complicated. So I did some of the most well-known formations that we see. And we're just gonna, yeah, so quartz can have endless formations. For example, I'll just show like this crystal that I have here. It has so many things going on. Like different crystals can have more than one growth formation or growth habit or inclusion or something. So I would say I always call quartzes that have more than 5 like different growth habits master quartzes, because they have so many things to share. So this is definitely a master quartz. It's like a cathedral. It's double terminated. It has inclusions. It sings too. If I put another, I don't think you can hear it, but if I put another crystal on it, you'll hear it singing. Yeah, it's really cool. And there's different like windows and stuff in here. So it gets kind of complicated, but we're just going to talk about the different formations the examples that we chose, and just like the energy of them. And then we can talk about like what our favorite ones are if you want, and what we use them for.
Definitely.
So clusters, we all seen a crystal cluster. It's pretty standard quartz formation. And clusters are great for the constant flow of energy in like so many different directions, because there's so many different points. And so it's great for balancing the energy of the room, or creating like a harmonious energy in a room, in communal spaces, to keep the energy high and clean and peaceful. And so that's why like I feel quartz clusters, you see them definitely a lot. People have them like in different parts of their houses, or like in the middle of their home. And yeah, like frequented spaces, family rooms, bedrooms, depending on which type of crystal it is, beside the bed, that kind of stuff. They're great. They're great to have in the home. They're just like big energy generators.
Yep, I love. They're literally like vacuums.
Yeah.
That you can just put in a room, and it keeps the energy clean, and it vacuums things up. So yeah, like you said, sunny clusters are great for putting in communal spaces. Not from my personal experience, unless it's been like a really intense quartz variety. Clusters don't seem to be too intense for me. Everybody's a little bit different. I find them to be quite calming, beautiful to look at, which also makes me feel really good. You can get some beautiful clusters.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't feel like they're intense either, because even though there's a lot of crystals coming out, it's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
But it's because I feel like the energy is shared amongst like every different like crystal point. There's like so many different terminations. Each crystal is like carrying the load together. So yeah, it is like grounding and balancing, and great for family, and yeah, just like your house in general. And it's funny because personally, I don't really work with like clusters on one-on-one. Like I won't be like holding a cluster very often. I don't really like have too many clusters. But what I do like clusters for is just for that, like, is to just have it in the room. So I like to buy bigger clusters and just have them in different rooms. Like each room has like a different cluster for a different purpose. That's what I like them for. I like them for like the bigger. It's like when you talk about the Western astrology and the Vedic astrology, the Vedic is like what is it? What do you say? It's
based off the sidereal.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah. But the higher soul.
The higher ages.
Yeah, the higher ages. Yeah. The clusters are for my higher ages. It's for like not my very close personal development. I use it for just like the atmosphere, for like the overall well-being kind of. That's what I like clusters for personally.
Yeah.
Although if I see a cool cluster, then I will, like, I have a small citrine cluster, which is like very rare, like a natural citrine cluster. I think we got those together. Remember? You know what I'm talking about?
Yep, we did.
Yeah. So that I just had to buy because that's really rare, but also that's another great piece to use like in the middle of a crystal grid too.
Yes.
So anyways.
Definitely. Love it. And there's, you guys, so many different formations.
There's a lot. We only chose a few.
There's a lot. Is there a specific reason why, Sunny, you chose these ones in particular?
Just because I thought that they were the most common, and just so people understand that like the formations, different formations, like kind of change how the energy flows.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
they're crystals that like you see a cluster all the time. You'll see a double terminated quartz all the time. You'll see a geode with the twin. Like again, too, like people, when you're getting into it, you don't even think about these things. You're just like, oh, cool crystal. But then you
Mhm.
see it has a formation or something special about it, and you're like, oh, well, how does that change what this crystal is all about?
Right.
So for the double terminated quartz or crystals, so many crystals can be double terminated. Like for quartz to be naturally double terminated is really cool because it wasn't attached to a cluster or to like a matrix at all, which I think is
Mhm.
really is super cool. But also, people take any crystal and like they'll polish it into double terminated wands or something like that. So it
Right.
would have like the same kind of flow. But again, the fact that quartz can actually form naturally double terminated is so awesome. Um,
Mhm.
and double terminated quartz is the energy is channeled from both directions. So that's really great for balance because it's not just like shooting out one end. It's like the flow, it's like a current going through both ends. So that's really great for, again, balance or again, harmony or connection between two different crystals. So like in a crystal grid, double terminated is really great to put between other crystals, or between two people. But I feel like two double terminated quartzes have more to do with like the outside atmosphere. So yes,
Mm.
they can help you connect with two people and create harmony between two people, but I feel like it's more again like a collaborative kind of. I don't know if that makes sense. Like it gets so complicated. I feel
It's
like
making sense
sorry.
to
So,
me.
yeah, yeah. Definitely, if it's your personal crystal, it has to do with personal development. But I do feel like the way that the energy flows both ends, it helps bring in like other elements from outside of you, if that makes sense.
Mm. Yeah, like parts that have maybe been given away from somewhere else, or do you mean like something else? Higher self?
Anything like that. I don't even know. Like, I don't know how to explain it. This is like it's so hard for me to explain these things that I feel. Do you have any like thing to add to the double terminated chords?
Double terminated, I love for doing like magical work. They're
Yes,
literally like types of wands.
yes,
So if we're
exactly. As
doing,
above, so below.
yeah, the magician card, if we're doing a crystal grid, if we're doing even meditating with it,
Yeah,
manifestation work, like those are very powerful tools.
yeah. So exactly, using it for meditation too. Yeah, like you can be channeling from up here and bringing it down here. Again, like
Mhm.
I said, as above, so below. So I definitely feel like it is used for personal reasons, but it's also like collectively grabbing from outside too. So I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes total sense.
Okay.
You're making total sense. It's
No,
all
I
good.
never know if I'm making sense, you guys, because I've been a hermit most of my life, and I just recently stopped being a hermit like a year and a half ago. And I don't really talk a lot, and most of my insights are just like in my brain. So when I try to explain it, it's like I don't know. I'm trying my best.
Yeah. No, you're making sense.
Okay, good.
So, yeah, and again, you guys, these are formations of quartz crystal. So
Yeah,
everything we're showing right now is quartz crystal that comes in different kind of shapes,
yeah.
which have meaning. All shapes have meaning.
I love that. All shapes have meaning. That's so cute.
Yeah.
Um, I just realized too that these are all clear quartz on here. I didn't do that on purpose, but most quartz, it doesn't have to be just clear quartz. Like amethyst can do this, citrine can do this, smoky quartz can do this. Rose quartz cannot do this actually. Rose quartz can be found in clusters, but it's super rare and they're usually very small and they're very high quality and they're very expensive and they're very rare. Rose quartz usually just forms in big masses. So,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
you'll never find a rose quartz twin. You'll only find a double terminated rose quartz if it's polished or whatever.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
crazy. I love twins. I have a twin citrine that I really like.
Oh, yeah. And you have that amethyst twin as well in your bathroom. I just saw
Mm-hmm. That's
it. Yeah. Sorry, what?
Brandenburg. I always say that wrong. Is that a
Brandberg.
Brandenburg or something?
Brandberg.
Brandenburg.
Yeah, I think yours is a Brandberg.
Yay. I love
Yeah.
Brandenburg.
I know. I have some customers, or we have some customers that like are obsessed with twin
Yeah.
quartzes. Like every time I see, it's funny. Like I have, if I've ever had a twin in my collection, it doesn't last very long. Like I'll send it.
Really?
Yes. I haven't been like fully immersed into the twin formation world yet.
Hmm.
Mhm. I really
Yeah.
like double terminated quartzes and I love points. Those are basically my favorite. But twins, it's kind of like double terminated in a little bit because it has to do with connection. But I
Mm-hmm.
find that twins, it's like more a deeper, like with interpersonal relationships. So like your family, a family member, a romantic partner, especially a child, understanding, like, yeah, like cooperation and like understanding within those relationships. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you'll find, I don't know if it would be considered a twin, but sometimes you'll see like the one of the points would be like a little bit lower than
Mm-hmm.
the main termination. That could be great for like parents, like mother and child or father and child relationship kind of stuff too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. Didn't think about that before.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. And yeah, people in the comments are saying, Sister Nobody, you make sense to us, Sunny. We get it.
Okay, good. Okay, good. I'm trying.
We all speak the same language. So it's
Okay.
all.
We all speak crystal.
Yeah. And geodes, very different kind of energy, very fairy energy. They feel very playful to me
Mm-hmm.
and inner child. Like, what do geodes mean for you, Sunny?
I can definitely see that. I think it depends on the geode or maybe sometimes how it's cut because sometimes geodes are cut and then like you can also see through it like so there's no back anymore so it's like a portal. So like
Mm-hmm.
and that way I can definitely see it being very like fairy again, yeah, like an actual portal, like you're opening a portal into like the crystal
Right.
kingdom or into like some metaphysical fairy world. So I definitely see that, especially agate. Geodes definitely feel very fairy to me. I find
Mm-hmm.
geodes to be just like gentle and
Mm-hmm.
grounding and protective, actually. Like
Right.
really
Yeah,
protective.
gentle is
It's
a
a
good
cave.
word.
It's a cave of crystals. So it's like a place where you can go to be safe and that it will hold you. It's like the womb, but like crystallized. So
Right.
I remember when I was having a lot of nightmares with like dark entities, I put a geode behind my head. I'm just like remembering that now. I put a geode behind my head, so I must have felt like it was the energies from that crystal and like the way that my spirit guides were working with me was like helping me go into like the safe space or opening the safe space behind my head, like where I'm dreaming from, you know. So instead
Mm-hmm.
of something dark coming in, it was like I could go into the safe space.
Mm.
So yeah, I find them to be very peaceful, gentle, protective, and grounding.
Yeah,
They're like
definitely.
a ball of crystal, and it's crazy too because like from on the outside of a geode, it's like not interesting. It's just like okay, cool rock, and then you cut it open or smash it open, and there's like a beautiful crystal kingdom inside. It's
Yeah,
cool. Yeah.
for sure.
So kind of humbling a little bit too. It's like you don't need to. For protection, yeah, that makes sense because I mean, even this past weekend, we went to a spiritual event with
Mm-hmm.
musicians and a lot of artists, a lot of people who are doing what we do.
Mhm.
Um, and I don't know how I'm gonna blend this. It made sense in my head for a second. It kind of reminds me of like the outside. It's like unassuming. Not saying that I'm unassuming on the outside, but when I'm in situations with people where other people are facilitating things or where other people are, you know, working or shining or expressing
Mhm.
themselves, like I don't really need to be like, oh, I do this too. I do this too. This is what I do. I'm a crystal healer and I'm a singer songwriter and I do this and that. I feel like that's kind of where the protection comes from with the geode, because it's like you're
Mm.
this beautiful crystallized self-realized version of yourself on the inside, and that's so strong and it's so powerful within yourself that you don't need to like go and have to like prove it on the outside, if that makes sense.
Right.
That's kind of what the geode reminds me of. And
Yeah.
also it's kind of like a protection thing too, because when you're around a lot of people like that, like egos can get involved, or you can maybe open your aura a bit and let someone's energy in. So yeah, that's I'm wearing the evil eye because I yeah, I feel like I need a little bit of that protection.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. Cool. And have we got more formations here? Yeah, we've got a few more.
just a few more.
Record keepers. Those are always exciting when we
Yeah.
see those.
Yeah, so I was like, "Is that too advanced for this?" I don't know, but some people asked, I think, about record keepers. I've been seeing comments about record keepers the
Mhm.
past few weeks, so I was like, "Let's throw that in there. This is a fun one." And now everyone's gonna, after the show, is gonna go look at their quartz crystals and see if they have record keepers, which you might, and you might not know. Sometimes you don't notice them. Sometimes they're very faint, and sometimes they can actually appear after you've had the crystal, which is really interesting. So
Mm.
on the faces, I've not heard of a record keeper yet. On the main faces, so not the sides, but the main faces of a crystal, some of them will have these little triangular shapes. And most of the time they're above, they're like um they're raised triangles.
Mhm.
Sometimes they can just be like an outline of a triangle, and on more rare occasions they can actually be like imprinted into the crystal, and sometimes they can be like upside down as well. I've noticed that the imprinted ones, the ones that are like actually like indented into the crystal, are can be upside down.
Mhm.
And sometimes there can be one, sometimes there can be two, sometimes there can be like this example, a bunch of them. And so when there's a bunch of them, we call them like trigons. But yeah, they're triangle shaped etchings on a face of a crystal. They can either be very prominent or very faint. So you'll have to like look at your crystal in different angles of the light. But record keepers, people say that they're used to access or retrieve information from the Akashic records, the collective memory of all that has ever been experienced. So it could be like information about anything. It could be information about you or your soul's history or somebody else or the earth's history or whatever the crystal wants you to know.
Mhm.
What do you feel about record keepers?
I feel they're very, very special, and I have had crystals that I got noticing they had record keepers, and then after the fact, they developed record keepers. And I feel like they have very sacred information that needs to be unlocked. It's like an invitation to be unlocked through the conscious use of it,
Mm.
in whatever way that is for you, sleeping with it, meditating with it, holding it, consciously working with it. You know, crystals are like elemental beings. So they definitely can hold very sacred information. I feel a lot of the time from like maybe star people or our ancient ancestors as well. That's
Yeah,
what I feel from them.
yeah, for sure. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Very cool. Okay, and we've also got windows.
Yeah, so lots of quartzes have these. These are pretty common. Some of them can be big again, some of them can be small. There can be future facing windows or past facing windows. This one in this example is a future facing window.
Mhm.
because, or it could even be like a present facing window. It looks pretty, like the point, wherever the point goes, if the point is more in the middle, it could be present. If it's more towards the right, it's future. And if it's more towards the left, then it's past. And windows can act as a window to the soul. They're great for introspection and self-discovery, or even receiving to use to like receive insight into like a specific situation. So it could be like a past situation, a present situation, or a future situation. Kind of like scrying a bit. It's like a scrying window, but yeah, it can teach you a lot about yourself, or like what you need to know in this moment, or what you need to accumulate in order to like move forward, or like why things happened in the past, or how you can heal things from the past. Or it's kind of weird because time's like a loop. Like I don't even understand the concept of time on a very basic level. Yes, there's hours, there's minutes, there's days, there's months, there's years, but I also feel like there's just like an overlap that we can't really comprehend because we're human, I guess. I don't know. But I feel like everything's like happening all at once.
Yes.
Like I feel like the past is the present, and now is the past. And it's just like kind of like a time loop thing.
Mm-hmm.
I really felt that too when I was in Sicily, which is so weird. Like when I went to the temples, I looked at the temples, and like it was just a natural, it wasn't a thought that I put together myself. It just kind of like came into my brain, and I was looking at the temples and I was like, oh, this hasn't happened yet. Or like this, I'm looking at something here that's in the future. I don't know how to explain that. Like this is happening in the future.
Wow.
People are living here in the future, which sounds kind of crazy, and I don't even know how to explain that, but yeah.
That is super duper trippy.
Yep. Very trippy.
And I've never done a lot of work with the window crystals.
Mm-hmm. You probably have some windows, you just don't know.
Some windows, I just don't know. Yeah.
Like even today we were looking at a smoky quartz pendant, and I was like, oh, there's so many windows in that. Like these are just things that we overlook because again, quartz is so popular and abundant. A lot of people overlook it, but because a lot of people are also like into, we get attracted to the colors and like the fun different crystals and all of that, but quartz has so much to offer. Like it's a whole universe within itself. So that's why I like to talk about this, because it's one of the most basic or popular crystals, but we also like, most of us as a collective haven't even tapped into like what quartz actually does, or what it can actually do. So that's why I think it's important. And it's just cool too, just on a physical level. It's just cool. Like that this even occurs.
It is very cool.
The geometry, like it's just cool.
It is. I find celestial crystals to be really freaking cool.
Yeah, they are really cool. They can look like alligator skin or like dragon scales and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. What are they meaning for you, Sunny? For me, I feel they're very transformational and really help to clear like really stagnant blocks. That's what I've noticed with celestials.
Yeah. Celestial quartz, I would say, is like definitely for calling in higher energy, and definitely helps progress spiritual growth, deep soul healing, getting into alignment with what your higher purpose is. And it can kind of teach you about like what ascension might be, or help with ascension symptoms, like identifying ascension symptoms, or even give you ascension symptoms. But yeah, celestial quartz is really weird. It's like an overgrowth of quartz crystals. So there's like a main crystal, and then the celestial part is like an overgrowth of like other crystals like on top of each other, like trying to all form on top of each other. Wow. It's cool. It's cool to look at.
That's super cool to look at. And phantom quartz are really cool to look at too. I think my Brandberg has phantoms in it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is another thing that people might notice too, is if they have like a natural citrine or a smoky quartz or an amethyst, after the show, I would suggest maybe putting your quartz up to a light or something to see if there's phantoms inside. If you see like another point on the inside, that's a phantom. If you had a clear quartz phantom, I think you would know. Sometimes they're a little bit faint, but
Mhm.
they're not as uncommon as you would think, although like this example we have here is a very beautiful example of a phantom quartz because the phantoms are so like clear and formed very well.
Right.
Do you want to talk about phantom quartz or
I feel like there's things to be unlocked with that. I feel that it's a very, how do I say this? Advanced formation in the sense that maybe not everybody's ready for that. Like it has a lot to help you go really, really deep.
Mhm.
It can take you to really, really deep places and wisdom and knowledge. And I find it interesting how it's like, something was growing here and then something's growing here. It's like taking you up the
Yeah.
layers of
Yeah.
consciousness,
Mhm.
um, in a way where you were talking about sometimes it's visible and we notice it, sometimes it's not visible.
Mhm. And sometimes there's more than one like
Right.
this one.
Hmm.
Um in the scorpioning shop, we actually have a really special type of phantom quartz right now called red phantom quartz. They're
Ooh.
really rare from India. They were discovered about 20 years ago, but they were not released onto the market until like 2020, and there's not a lot of them.
We have
So
what, like 5 or 6?
I think we have
There's 6.
5 or 6. Yeah, we have 5 or 6. I can't remember exactly, but they're really rare. So the red phantom would be on the phantom is hematite. So the mineral hematite was growing on top of a quartz, and then another quartz like grew on top.
Mhm.
So those are really cool. But yeah, so for phantoms, definitely about like going really deep, you're right. Growth, again, going really deep for the growth and for the healing. I also and personal evolution as well, and spiritual development, of course. But I also feel like even in its name suggests, I do feel like it can help connect us with our ancestors, like
Mm.
like past and like crossed over loved ones as well.
Yeah.
So it's also great for like generational stuff because it's like
Mhm.
it's like the levels of going up and up and up. So it could
Yeah.
be like the levels of like your ancestors, generations. So like grandmother, mother, you, then your child, whatever, like the line, the family line or the
Mhm.
bloodline. Um,
And
but also,
hematite
yeah,
is related to the blood as well.
that's true. That's true.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so phantom quartz can go really deep and it can be, yeah, like on the physical level, like genealogy, but also like spirituality. And also, too, a lot of the people that are in our family, a lot of the people that we know are people that have been in our family in the past or that we've
Mhm.
been members of in the past. Like we could be, some people could be just like constantly reincarnating into the same like genealogy. Isn't that weird?
That's so weird.
Yeah. Depending on
Crazy.
what our soul lessons are.
Yeah. Well, so much information. Thank you so much, Sunny, and everyone in the chat. Is there anything else that you want to touch on before we finish up? We're getting close to the hour mark here.
Um, no, I'm actually like happy that all this information fit within the hour. I was afraid it was going to be
Yay.
too much.
Yeah,
And I think in the future we should do we'll share some more quartz information
definitely.
because there's so much. And also think about, okay, we were looking at examples of mostly clear quartz, but like I said, most quartz can make all of these formations as well. So it's like not only just the quartz formation, it's like the properties of the specific type of quartz too. So it's like it can just
Mhm.
quartz is just phenomenal. I
It's freaking phenomenal.
love it.
We love it. Well,
Hmm.
thank you guys so much for joining us. And in, I think, just about an hour over on Beyond Mystic, JC and Janine will be live on the Insider Access Pass for the Wednesday edition of Beyond the News. And of course, we'll be back next Wednesday for another episode of Beyond Crystals. Do we know what our theme is? I don't think we have it yet. We haven't decided.
For next week, no.
No. So that will be a surprise. Stay tuned, you guys. And you can find us over at the squaplingshop.com, where we currently have our Jupiter in Cancer Lucky Charms collection. Thank you all so much for joining us. We're sending lots of love your way, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.